But I understand you were doing a little traveling this weekend. I was following up on some of the links and saw you got to take in a cool new racetrack. Or maybe not new, but different. New to you.
Yeah, well, as part of the program with NHRA, they do the track visits, or part of the Sportsman Spotlight series that airs on the ESPN2 shows focusing on the Lucas Oil series. Lewis Bloom, the stat guy, and I split them up and go visit some of the smaller NHRA member tracks from time to time. And last weekend I had an opportunity to go up to Billings and Yellowstone Drag Strip. Boy, what an absolute jewel of a racetrack. It's actually in Acton, Montana, just outside of Billings, but beautiful place out in the middle of nowhere, and they've got some terrific race cars up there and just a great family operation.
I am checking out an article on the Billings Gazette, and folks, we're going to put it on the WFO Radio Facebook page for you to check it out. What a cool facility. I am just looking at some of the amenities. People don't think about this kind of stuff, Alan. When they go to the track, they expect, Z-Max everywhere. But concrete walls are a big deal at a lot of these tracks, and this place looks like it's got some very serious, very nice concrete walls, a lot of great amenities out there. Tell me about it.
It's a beautiful track. Apparently the story is it was built in 2003, and 5 local businessmen got together, all ponied up some resources because they just wanted to have a place a little closer to race than, my understanding is their next closest racetrack is like an hour and a half away. Obviously, land is not a big problem in that part of the country. They've got plenty of wide open spaces, and the shocking part was coming from Englishtown, New Jersey to Acton, Montana. It's like, you talk about culture shock. I mean, where's the closest house to the racetrack in Englishtown, and the closest house to the racetrack in Montana has got to be 15 miles away. So they pooled their resources and built a very nice racetrack. It's smooth as a pool table, 330-foot concrete launch pad, tremendous tower facility, great permanent grandstand, permanent concession stands, paved pit area, everything you need for a great little weekend racetrack. And then over the period of time, the owners got bought out one by one until the last guy passed. The racetrack was in question for a little while, and a local businessman named C.W. McCarthy got together with his partner, Brett McKinney, were able to put together the financing, buy it, and keep it alive, and now the whole family runs it, and it's just a tremendous operation. C.W. told me he had 19 family members that were working the Saturday that I was there. And great racetrack. It really is just a jewel out in the middle of nowhere, and it was my pleasure to be up there. They could not have been more friendly. It was just an amazing experience.
Judging from the article, and I already posted it on the WFO Radio Facebook page, maybe that will get some people to go to the WFO Radio Facebook page, but I see Michael Panic out there. I see it looks like you guys had quite the experience. It seems that the connection to NHRA drag racing is a strong one, and even though it's in Montana, the whole idea of racing and families getting together and spending time at the racetrack instead of in front of the television is strong in Montana.
Well, families is a real theme up there. There's one family in particular that we did a feature on that'll air later on in the summer on the ESPN shows. Gentleman's name's Sil Scheid. He's been racing for 59 years.
Whoa.
Okay, but, I mean, there's other people that have been racing for 59 years, right?
The Greek?
Yeah, and Connie Collette has been involved, and, guys like Jim Dunn. I mean, that's, racing for 59 years is special, but it's not unheard of. He's been driving the same car for 57 of those years.
What? What kind of car?
56 Chevy.
Wow.
And it's just amazing. His son is now racing. His grandson is in junior dragsters, so he's getting his feet wet and coming up. And there were a number of families out there that would tow out there, unload the race car, and then unhook the pickup, and the kid would drive the pickup in either the high school class or the street class while Dad was racing in pro or super pro. It was just a tremendous experience. And Julie McCarthy, who is part of the family that runs the place, very media savvy. She had a story on the local news about ESPN coming to visit the track earlier in the week to try to entice some people to come out and watch. And then she set up the reporter from the Billings Gazette to come out and do a story on it. She also had a local radio station that was out there, just making the most of the opportunity of having us there, it was just great. They had some of the junior kids made up signs that said, "Welcome to Montana," ESPN and Alan Reinhart. And like I said, it just went above and beyond out of their way to make it a special deal for us. And, it's supposed to be our job to go there and make it a nice deal for them.
Well, sounds like a great symbiotic relationship and experience. And we often say it, these local tracks and the local racer who is out there just spending time on the weekends, keeping his local speed shop in business, that's the backbone of the sport of drag racing. Not just drag racing, but motorsports in general. There is that type of person that they choose to come home from work and go back to work on their race car, and that's what keeps this whole deal going.
And they have some spectacular cars up there as well. You know, there's some racetracks you go to, and especially off the beaten path, where let's say maybe the guys don't spend as much effort and time and money on polish as they do on carburetors and pistons. But these guys have just got some amazing hardware up there. Run hard, run fast. Didn't have a single problem all day. No oil downs, no downtime. Nobody crashed. It was just a nice, smooth day of racing. And coming up in 2 weeks, it's YellowstoneDragStrip.com if you want to get the details. But coming up in 2 weeks, they are going to have their first ever Lucas Oil regional event out there. So if you're in the neighborhood of Billings or Acton, Montana, and you're not doing anything, stop on by. The alcohol cars will be headlining, and it's a tremendous little friendly family-run racetrack. I promise you'll have a good time.
That is awesome, and we are headed to a pretty cool little track this weekend as well, the Ford Thunder Valley Nationals. And before we get to it, we got a couple of questions for Alan Reinhart. You up for it?
I was hoping I could suck up all the time talking about Yellowstone, and you'd forget about questions. All right. Let's play Stump the Dummy.
No, I knew. I knew what you were trying to do.
On Valentine's Day,